Ladies and gentlemen, the government's decision to call for a special session of Parliament from the 18th of September to the 22nd is creating quite a buzz. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi tweeted, and I quote, amidst Amrit Kal, looking forward to having fruitful discussions and debate in Parliament. There's speculation that the centre might introduce the One Nation, One Election bill during Parliament's special session. Under the One Nation, One Election idea, elections to the Lok Sabha and all state assemblies would be held in one cycle, with voting presumably taking place on a single day. However, the opposition is questioning the timing of the special session, with some calling it a tactic to divert from the graft issue, while some say that the centre is hurting Hindu sentiments by calling a session during Ganesh Chaturthi. Listen in.
I have not been formally communicated the message that government is going to convene a session for a few days. That means it will be a short session. You know that after monsoon, winter session is scheduled to be held in the month of November. What was the imperative need? What was the emergency situation occurred in India?
पार्लियामेंट के इतिहास में कभी भी त्योहार के समय, वो नवरात्रि हो या गणपति हो, पार्लियामेंट का सेशन कभी हुआ नहीं। अब इन्होंने गणपति के त्योहार में, सब जो त्योहार से भी गणपति की आराधना करने का जो कार्यकाल होता है, उस 11 दिन में इन्होंने अपना अधिवेशन लगाया। ये इनका हिंदुत्व स्वार्थ के बिना, मुझे लगता है गडकरी साहब खुद कह रहे थे, सत्ताकरण के बिना इनको कुछ नहीं सूझता। इनका एक ही काम है, सत्ताकरण करना, समाजकारण नहीं। और हिंदुत्व कितने कैसा है इनका, ढोंग रचने में ये इतने माहिर है कि कुछ मतलब कोई इनके साथ नहीं लग सकती जितना ही ढोंग रचना।
सूत्रों के हवाले से खबर आई है वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन की, तो बगैर हम राय मशवरा कर बगैर सारे स्टेक होल्डर्स से पूछकर, बगैर इलेक्शन कमीशन की रिपोर्ट लेकर, बगैर उनसे ये पूछकर कि ये पॉसिबल है या नहीं पॉसिबल है, बगैर वो सिक्योरिटी सर्विसेज से पूछ कर के इतना हम कर पाएंगे कि नहीं कर पाएंगे एट द सेम टाइम, बगैर उन स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से पूछकर कि क्या वो सहमत है या नहीं सहमत है, बगैर चीफ मिनिस्टर्स को साथ में लेकर अगर वो ये निर्णय लेते हैं हम उसका विरोध करेंगे। ये स्पेशल सेशन दिखाता है कि एक बौखलाई हुई, तिलमिलाई हुई, घबराई हुई एंड लास्ट स्टेजेस ऑफ पावर में अपना पावर दिखाने की कोशिश करें, हम उसका विरोध करेंगे।
When the BJP and the NDA are trying to find escape routes for Adani, we the patriots of India, we try to find the way of salvation for the people of India. We want to liberate the people from the clutches of the looters. That is the people like Adani and Ambani. The BJP rule for them, and we stand for the people.
It's a bit of a surprise. I was not expecting this. We don't know what the government wants to do. One rumor is maybe the government wants to dissolve the Lok Sabha and call elections early because they're afraid of losing in 5 states in November, December. So possibly that could be a reason. There may be other reasons. They may want us all to congratulate them for G20. I don't know what they want to do. Are they going to bring any surprise new bills? We don't know. I think the government has the duty to tell the nation what it wants to do with this session. For us, it was a bit of a surprising news, but we will be there.
India is a secular country. If session is being called, meaningful discussions should be held pertaining to development of the state. And it's also to be seen that it does not clash on the exact festival of either all the religion. And I hope that the fruitful discussion and a positive discussion would be held during the session.
Let's take this across to our guest. Joining us with us is Sanju Verma, BJP's national spokesperson. Shekhar Iyer, journalist, is with us. We also have Rohan Mitra, political analyst, joining us. Manoj Yadav is a spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Yogi Gadde is a political analyst. Let me start first and foremost, Sanju Verma, with that statement coming in from Priyanka Chaturvedi. She's saying this cannot be done without consultations from stakeholders, and her allegation is the government is scared and it's in its last leg, it's trying to assert its power. Your response?
Is that for me, Madhav?
Yes, Sanju Verma, that question is for you based on what Priyanka Chaturvedi just said.
Madhav, first and foremost, let me tell you very clearly that the opposition is running ahead of itself. While there are media reports about one nation, one election being discussed in this special, parliament session, which has been called from September 18th to 22nd, the government has not stated something specifically to that effect. So let the opposition not get rattled and start making irresponsible statements. But even if the government were to implement one nation, one election, I ask why not? In fact, till 1957, we had synchronized general elections and state assembly elections. I am told, I was doing some homework, that this synchronized cycle was broken for the first time in Kerala in July 1959, when the centre invoked Article 356 of the Constitution to dismiss the ministry headed by EMS Namboodiripad of the Communist Party, which had assumed power after elections in April 1957. This was then followed by state elections in Kerala in February 1960. But more importantly, the moot point is this, and I will just very quickly make this point, that way back in 1983, the Law Commission, which was headed then by Justice B.P. Jeevan Reddy, in its 170th report in May 1999, it stated this. Give me 20 seconds. B.P. Jeevan Reddy's statement is as goes. We must go back to the situation where the elections to Lok Sabha and all the legislative assemblies are held at once. Therefore, legals and constitutional experts who over the years have advocated one nation, one poll are right, because simultaneous elections reduce the burden on the federal structure, are more convenient from an administrative standpoint, and are also more cost effective. Pardon me. So this is the statement by the Law Commission chief then B.P. Jeevan Reddy. This is not a statement by the BJP. So let's
and there are suggestions from the Law Commission that have come in 2018 as well. But Sanju Verma, my question to you before I quickly go across to others is that, are you confirming that this is indeed the legislative agenda, or are you purely going by media reports that this is the main agenda of the special session?
Madhav, you are such a seasoned journalist. I don't think it is the spokesperson's prerogative to say on national television what is going to happen 18 or 19 days hence. The Parliamentary Affairs Minister, Mr. Pralhad Joshi, has simply said, we will have a special session. We will have 5 special sessions. So let's wait for the government to officially officiate and make a statement which will clear any ambiguity on this count. But since Priyanka Chaturvedi has been ranting away to glory, saying that, one nation, one election undermines the democratic ethos, I need to remind her that this is absolutely wrong. In fact, not just till 1957. I'm told that till 1967, actually, General and State Assembly.
You mentioned that point. Let me take that question across. That it's unjustified criticism because, as far as these special provisions are concerned, they were in existence till 57. And perhaps this is just, at some level or the other, a reaction that is coming in for political reasons. Let me go across to Yogi Gade, political analyst, for more on that. Would you like to respond to Sanju Verma? Yogi.
Yes, as far as the one nation, one election is there, even if we have it, and if in some state the government collapses due to some reasons, then how will that one nation, one elections happen anywhere? Because you don't know where governments how many political parties get how many seats, whether the government is going to run for 5 years. There's no certainty, and therefore one nation, one election does not seem properly. And secondly, coming back to the session that is called, the session is called keeping the elections in mind, because as you know what the government is facing, they'll definitely look to cover up for the Lok Sabha elections, and maybe there could be some populist sentiments bills brought in the parliament during these sessions, as to because surely the ruling government is surely having the Lok Sabha in mind, and the session they have called for, it definitely keeps elections in mind, and therefore there could be some populist bills that may be introduced. That's a feeling, but yet there is nothing sure though, because the government has not specified why is the session declared, and that too
you're not
during,
opposing the session. But you're not opposing the session. You're not opposing the session.
The session. It is during the festival time, and like in Maharashtra and in all over India, the festival is celebrated.
Okay, let me. Since we have limited time, let me quickly take this across to other guests. Shekhar Ayya would like to respond to that. It is festive time and therefore inappropriate to conduct a special session. That's the criticism coming from certain political parties, particularly those from Maharashtra. Your response, Shekhar Ayya.
Well, from what we gather is this session is likely to be held in the new Parliament building. And if September 18th happens to be Ganesh Chaturthi, and it is a very important festival, a festival where it's known for an auspicious start. If the session is to be held in the new building of Parliament, Ganesh Chaturthi seems to be a perfect day for it. It may be pure coincidence that the government has called it on September 18th. Now, Ganesh Chaturthi is not just observed in Maharashtra, it is observed, in fact, in Tamil Nadu, it is observed in Odisha, large parts of Madhya Pradesh, you have Karnataka, you have Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. I mean, anything new is done on this day. People take out their new cars on this day. So several new things happen. If the government has chosen it, for the new building, because we also saw the new building, both the foundation stone and as well as the inauguration of the building was preceded by religious puja and all that. So there is no problem with that. But my understanding is, since it comes a day after, rather a week after the G20 summit, the government would like the Parliament to put on record its appreciation of the fact that India would have hosted one of the most important landmark event, that is the G20 summit. And secondly, congratulate our ISRO's fighters for the Chandrayaan 3 mission. That's also an important thing. And apart from the fact that the fact that we are launching a solar mission also, so the government would want that Parliament places on record. And fact that it's a Chandrayaan has happened, that Parliament is also showing its quickness instead of waiting for a routine session to happen to begin. And apart from all these bills, 5 days are not enough to discuss, because the speculation is not on one nation, one poll, on everything that is considered pending. Women's reservation bill, UCC, everything there is speculation. But the opposition reaction seems to be as if, it has already been decided and they are at a loss.
Okay. Rohan Mitra, I want you to respond to this. There may be speculation about different kinds of bills, and certainly, of course, everyone has any right to put out information that they may be privy to. But without getting into that, why are you opposing this particular special session? Because there are indications coming in from the Congress party, particularly Member of Parliament Manikam Tagore, who responded to Prahlad Joshi on social media referring to the Adani issue. So is that going to dominate the Congress's proceedings? Because that's what Rahul Gandhi also focused on today as far as his press conference is concerned. If there is a special session, is that where the Congress's focus will be?
Madhav, just good evening. Just yesterday I was on 2 debates with your channel. One was on the PU report and one was in an incident in Bihar, where the Bihar government has changed its education policy, where the Hindu festival dates were being taken away from the holidays, and the students were supposed to go to school. And the BJP, Mr. Giriraj Singh, had a big statement. I don't want to go further into this. I don't want to go into the speculation. My point is, at 3 p.m. today, Prahlad Joshi remembers that there is a new parliament session which is going to happen on the 18th of September. This is a panic move by the government, because since yesterday and this morning, the only news which has been out there is what the Adani scandal is. Everything has to stop because the Adani scandal is so big.
May I please come in, Madhav?
Let me finish.
Let him make his point. You can respond to him. Yeah. Quickly complete your point, please, Rohan.
We've just been given information that Mr. Adani were getting foreign money, Chinese money into their government, upping their share values. Everything today belongs to the Adanis, the ports, the airports, and everything which is going there. The BJP is being funded by the Adanis, and something this big comes out, and the whole opposition wants to talk about it. And what happens?
Well, that's the allegation of Mr. Rahul Gandhi as well. Rohan, that's the allegation made by Mr. Rahul Gandhi, but the Adanis themselves have put out a statement denying several of these charges, saying that this is just a rehashed version of the Hindenburg saga.
Madhav, the steady guy. the SEBI person.
That is the allegation. Yes, Mr. Rahul Gandhi did mention all that, Rohan. But since you've asked several questions, let's get in a response from the BJP, please, because now we have very limited time and we have another panelist who's not yet spoken. Sanju Verma, quickly clarify, because he says this is on 2 points. A, this is an attempt at diverting from the Adani issue, which he believes has the government in the dock. And B, when you yesterday opposed the Bihar government on its decision when it comes to festivals, why is it happening on the same level when it comes to the parliament session? 2 questions. Quick response, please.
Madhav, I will just say this, and I have been on a zillion debates on your channel. The fact of the matter is that Adani's commodity trading business started way back in 1986-87 when Amar Singh Chaudhary was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, a congressman, and Rahul Gandhi's father, was the Prime Minister. In 91-93, somewhere during that period, Adani Enterprises took shape when Congress's Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister. Out of the 7 publicly listed companies of Adani, 5 were set up when Congress was in power in the center. Only 2 were set up when the BJP was in power in the center. First, they tried running a narrative that Adani profiteered from the exposure that SBI and LIC have to Adani. When we showcased that SBI's exposure to Adani is less than 1%, LIC's exposure to Adani from its overall portfolio is less than 0.5%. They had nowhere to run. What the SEBI report says is that 12 companies with vested interests, both based in India and based in Cyprus, Luxembourg, Mauritius, what have you, knew of the trashy Hindenburg report 3 days prior to the report being published. They were aware of the malafide contents, and that is how they profiteered from short selling the Adani stock. So if anything needs to be done, there should be a bona fide probe against who are these 12 vested companies.
Okay.
Do they have links to the Congress left Soros cabal? Do they have links to the Congress left Soros cabal? Answer that. Who are these 12 companies that benefited from short selling the Adani stock? Who knew about the Hindenburg report 3 days in advance?
Are you seriously talking that there is no quid pro quo here?
Okay. Let me please come in, because one of our panelists, 1 second, we have limited time. I'm requesting both of you have made your points, so please calm down. Manoj Yadav of the SP is with us now. Manoj Yadav, question ये नहीं है कि ये BJP का ये कहना है that there has to be a question on those who have illegally profiteered. There's short selling was the allegation made when there was Hindenburg, and in this report as well, that could be the possible motive. This is what the Adani group has also pretty much hinted at. Your response to this?
देखिए माधव जी, मैं बड़ा हतप्रभ रह गया कि बीजेपी की स्पोक्सपर्सन ने बात कही कि अडानी का जन्म कांग्रेस की सरकार के दौर में हुआ। तो क्या जो कांग्रेस की सरकार के दौर में अडानी का बिजनेस का जन्म हुआ, तो क्या उस पर कोई सवाल नहीं खड़ा हो सकता? उस पर कोई चार्जेस नहीं लग सकते? और अगर उस पर नहीं लग सकते हैं तो फिर कांग्रेस पे भी चार्जेस नहीं लगने चाहिए? या राजीव गांधी, 1 मिनट चुप हो जाइए भाई, क्यों बीच में बोल रही हैं? मैंने आपके अरे चुप हो जाइए भाई।
Let him once again. Let's calm down. Let's calm down, please.
नहीं पूछूंगा।
We have limited time. Now let him make his point. Sanju Verma, please calm down. Let him make his point. We have very limited time. Yes, Manoj Yadav.
माधव जी बिल्कुल स्पष्ट कह दिया, और बीजेपी ने यहाँ अपने आप को एक्सपोज कर लिया, और ये बात प्रूफ मोहर लगा दी कि कांग्रेस के टाइम के जो कुछ भी स्थापित इस देश में है, वो राजनीतिक दल हो, बिजनेसमैन हो, उस पर सवाल नहीं उठाए जा सकते, क्योंकि वो बड़ी क्लियरिटी के साथ स्थापित किए गए हैं। संजू वर्मा जी, क्या हो गया? दिक्कत हो गई? कहाँ पे लॉ एंड ऑर्डर? अरे देखो तो, एक पुलिस वाली महिला जिसको ट्रेन में रेप करके मार दिया गया, योगी आदित्यनाथ, गुंडे से पूछो ना, गुंडे योगी आदित्यनाथ।
Okay. I have to come in now because it's a very serious issue, and let me bring in Shekhar Iyer on this, because I don't want this kind of bickering, please. Shekhar Iyer, very important question. If at all there is a bill that has to be brought in for the conduct of one nation, one election. Now experts have said, Law Commission, Election Commission have all weighed in on this. There is their opinions to Parliament that happened in as early as 2018, and they've all said that at least 5 constitutional amendments, apart from a number of amendments to the Representation of People Act, need to happen, and that certainly can't happen in 5 days. Can it, in your experience of covering Parliament?
Absolutely, Madhav. It cannot be done in 5 days. Besides, it would need a lot of discussion, with all stakeholders, and government would not rush through this. I mean, this is a very far-fetched speculation. In fact, the speculation today is that all the pending issues which are seen as part of the BJP agenda are to be introduced. It can't be done in 5 days. Well, one nation, one poll has been Prime Minister's key concept thing that which he has been talking about. I mean, there is nothing new about it.
Right.
But it would require constitutional amendment for a fixed tenure for Parliament and election of another leader if one leader loses confidence of the House, like they have in Germany. There are several things to be done. But definitely an idea can be discussed, or as a part of Amrit Kal.
Right.
The government could say these are the pending agenda. They could have a one-day session on the Amrit Kal. The proposed what are the things to be done in the next 20 years. They can
All right. Shekhar Iyer believes that this is largely speculative, that it's very difficult for such an important bill with so many constitutional amendments to be actually brought in. I'd like to thank all our panelists for joining us. Of course, Yogi Gade was with us, Manoj Yadav, as well as Rohan Mitra, Shekhar Iyer and Sanju Verma. Thanks so much for joining us. Slipping into a very quick tip.